beats a little faster. It gets a little more intense. Particularly, that team across the field is a conference foe. And that's exactly what we have in this showdown coming up. Welcome, everyone, to Boone Pickens Stadium, Stillwater, Oklahoma, and home to the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. As we'll see, the runner-up from last year's national championship, the Michigan Wolverines, taking on a team that ranks in the top 5 in this conference, the Oklahoma State Cowboys. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Wolverines will boot it away to start the game. And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. And a really nice job by the kick team to get down there and make sure they limit that return. The Cowboys offense will have the football first. And it was a rough showing last week, and it all started with the quarterback, Jesse.
Yeah, he looked lost in that last game. Now, I thought the defense did a really good job at confusing him, mixing up their looks and their pressure. So, no different today. The defense obviously watched the film, and they're going to come out and they're going to try to do the exact same thing and get this guy rattled. So this quarterback, he has to know what to expect early.
Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. He stopped not much on the return, but a whole lot in getting the football. This crowd knows they have to bring it in big moments, and one of those has arrived. Just gets rid of it before the heat. He just wisely got rid of that when the worst thing that can happen to you is to turn it over on first down in the red zone. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Jukes his way for more. He's pulled down after a tough run, gets it to the 6. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. Zings it complete to the right. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. And the Wolverines will try to pick it up on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Michigan. Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. Well, just as you would expect, that didn't take very long.
It didn't, Reese, and you've got to make great field position count. When you've got opportunities, you got to pay it off. And the offense took advantage, scoring a touchdown. Didn't have far to go, but they got the points they needed.
That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. Oklahoma State hoping to get the Pistols firing on offense. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy complete.
Breaks into the open.
Well, look, I know this guy's not the biggest running back in college football, but boy, is he dangerous, right? He's so shifty. He's hard to bring down. It's a good idea to get him going in the passing game. Put him out in space. Let's see what he can do.
They go to the ground. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
It's not a flashy play call, but that is exactly what it was designed to do. Get 2 yards, get the first down.
Quarterback quick pass to the receiver. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage. And the Cowboys with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Good timing on the quick out. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. Third and long, backed up inside their 20. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. He lost it high and deep down the left side. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's fourth down. The Cowboys will bring the punt team onto the field. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. He was able to get that ball up to the 48-yard line before he stopped on the return. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Can't get him to the ground. They finally get him stopped, and this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play. They'll put it in play from the 40 on 1st and 10. Might as well give it to him again.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's 1st down, the defense thinks you might be running the football. You still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
To the ground with the back. Tackled at the 31. They'll give him 6 on the play.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
They'll try to run for it. Now well within striking distance as that 3rd down play gets them a first at the 29. The Wolverines are marching down the field. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Grabbed behind the line. It's Boone. Turning it on.
You know, and that's why this guy can play 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down. You've already seen him earlier in the drive rip off some nice runs, but he can catch the football as well. And they're going to find ways to get him going in all sorts of ways, but you're seeing it specifically on this drive.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Wolverines. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, you know, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
Oh, no guts, no glory. He's coming out of the end zone. Not a whole lot of room to operate on that return as the coverage unit was there and ready. Plenty of time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. There to make the tackle, and that's how we'll wrap up this 1st period. Now the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the 2nd. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with 2nd down. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he's stopped, and it'll be 1st down. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Leaves it with the back. Quick spin on the run. Tackled at the 43 after picking up 10. Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. Receiver on the move gets the touch pass. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. And the Cowboys with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Here's the handoff. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. The offense setting up shop at the 46, 1st and 10. They're going to ride this running back. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, good call by the defense there. They dialed up blitz into that running play, and the linebacker able to make the stop.
To the air on 2nd down. Makes the grab. And he's knocked down immediately, but a good pickup on that play. Let's see what they do here on 3rd and short from the 41. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws toward the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. The Cowboys will send out the punt unit. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Probably not quite as good as he hoped as it goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do.
build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
Solid run on the last play. Sets this offense up on first down. Quarterback on the keeper. And he avoids the hit and slides after the short gain.
Nice job by this defense, stringing along the option, not letting him make a decision right away, and that's why they could corral to the football, get him on the ground, and make sure that option didn't get a big gain.
It is deafening in here. The panel people going to work, throwing down a big one for the Cowpokes. From the gun, wants to pass. And they fail to hook up on third down.
You know, it's funny. That's probably the most discombobulated the offense has looked so far in this game, right? After watching that incompletion there on third down, they were just up and down the field earlier. Tremendous rhythm, tremendous balance. Everything their play caller was dialing up was working, lighting up the scoreboard. And then all of a sudden on this last drive, just not able to piece it together. They've got to be able to turn the page and get back to how they looked earlier in the game.
This could be a major turning point in this game, going for it inside their own 40. On fourth down, they'll throw for it. Using his feet to buy time. Unleashes one. Intercepted. Didn't really get a chance to get started on that return, but he has set him up at the 41-yard line. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Finds his man. It's Marshall. On the move to the 30. All the way down to the 27-yard line before they get him out of bounds, and this offense is threatening. They'll try to pop the draw. Pulled down after a nice run, and they're in the red zone at the 19. And the Cowboys can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Trying to get the edge with a quick touch pass. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. The defense uses their second timeout of the half as they try to get their act together. Takes it from the gun on third down. A shot toward the end zone. And it's caught! Touchdown, Oklahoma State!
And I tell you what, that passing touchdown, man, that should spark this whole team. Like, the comeback is more than on now. Like, they got the touchdown. They cut into the lead. You want to get a stop and go into the half, get all the juices, all the excitement, and be like, listen, the passing game's rolling. We got this. The comeback's in full effect.
And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They take over late and they have enough time to put together a drive. Looking downfield on first down. Under fire. They get to him as he throws. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37. New set of downs after the completion. Lost a throw on first down. Looking to the big tight end. A strike downfield. They'll ride him out of bounds after the good pickup spotted at the 25-yard line. After that huge play, they've now got it inside the 30. It's 1st and 10. Offense changing the play. To the air on first down. Rush is on him. Quarterback strolling away from heat. Oh, he's got some space. And he'll skip his way out of bounds after a short gain, making sure he doesn't take any unnecessary punishment. Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. Caught on the outside, it's Cabrera. From here, it would just be a 30-yard field goal try. Let's see how aggressive they're going to be to try to pick up that first down. Right on the money. He was smelling that end zone, but they get him down at the 4 after the big pass play. And the Wolverines racing to the line in the hurry-up. He's looking to pass. Looking to get it in. And he'll go out of bounds just for this offense. They'll send the back in motion. Quarterback sneak, looking for just a sliver of daylight. The offense uses a timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. And he's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan!
And they trust their QB to execute like they have the whole first half, and he delivers, and they build on this lead and build their momentum going into halftime.
And he did make that extra point, no issue with the treacherous footing. On the move from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Under a minute to play here in the first half, and the offense will take a knee, and that is how we'll wrap up the first half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
All right, fellas, looks like you've had a very enjoyable day there today in Stillwater. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today.
Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Probably needed to pick up an extra block or 2, but as it is, he'll be stopped at the 28. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. They opened this third quarter on top, and they built the lead on the strength of that running game.
And they made a huge statement, too, just proving to the other team that they're more physical, they're winning in the trenches. So here in the second half, David, just keep demoralizing this defense by pounding the football.
Yeah, and I'm not going to let that happen. I riled up my guys at halftime. We're going to put more people in the box, and we got to come out and meet the physical challenge of this offense.
They'll go right back to him. He'll go out of bounds right at the 40-yard line as this offense continues to show great patience. The offense lines up at the 40. They've got a first down. From the shotgun, the inside give. What a job up front, and he'll lose a yard on that one. The Wolverines have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. He'll pull it on the read. A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
And the Wolverines are rolling down the field. This time they'll go to the running game.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down. It is loud in here as they try to help him get a stop on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Big man has it. It's a first down and more. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. From the gun, the running back has it. Not much there on the line. He gets 1 to the 31. Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. They built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters of play. Let's take a look at how we got here. It'll be second down as we open the final stanza. Leads it with the back. Nowhere to go. The ball's loose. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover. The coach wants the officials to have another look at the monitor. Using a timeout here, thinks the call is going to end up going his way. Might have to give that coach a flag and a whistle. He was right on in his view of the play, and the officials agree and overturn the call. Man, is this place loud right now. The Cowpoke faithful bringing it on third down. Here comes the heat. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They have been trying all game long, different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why the ball falls in.
And it's intercepted, maybe breathing a little life into this team. He'll be stopped short of the 40, right at the 41, and this interception has given him a great opportunity. Snags a quick pass on the left. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. The Cowboys in a good spot here with second and short. Wants to go up top. Just a short pass to the tight end. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. On the run, it's Walters.
And defensively, one of the most important things is stopping the run, being physical up front. That was too easy for this offense. You can't give up 5 and 6 yards a pop on the ground. Like, that is a recipe for disaster. They got to be more physical, get off the ball, get downhill faster.
This offense is going to try and grind their way to a win now, and they're going to start force-feeding this guy the football, too. He's made a few plays earlier in this game, but now in the fourth quarter, it's about force-feeding him, getting some push up front, and just icing this thing.
Michigan has long had defenses built on discipline, carrying out their assignment, and they have done that to perfection today.
Carry out your assignment, do what you're supposed to do, but do it with bad intentions. That's what I like. I like the physicality. They want to hit you in the mouth. Year after year, Michigan players leave and they go to the NFL, but the next group, discipline, tough, physical. It's always staples of these defenses.
On third down, he drops the throw. Coach has no choice here. The offense has to stay on the field, down multiple possessions this late. Fourth down attempt coming. It's incomplete, and they desperately needed to keep that drive going, and they couldn't make the connection. Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense.
Late in football games, I have a plan. I want to run the football. I want to put my quarterback in great situations if I do throw it. Low risk, keep that clock moving, get a few first downs. And if I get a few first downs with that clock moving, I get the W and get out of here.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag on the field. Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. Rides the back on the option to give. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. The Wolverines trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. They'll leave it with him. There he goes. And he's dragged down. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. And the Wolverines are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Wants to adjust the pattern. Quick pass to the left, trying to get it to the marker. 3rd down conversions are huge, and they've got one, and they're at the 35. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they have this game in hand right now, but we'll see just how aggressive they want to be on offense. Now on 2nd down, they want to keep moving forward and keep that clock churning. Leaves it with the running back. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.